This is Curb Your Enthusiasm, Chris.
I'm not sure that it is.
We stole the.
Now say thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait for it.
No,
Now pump.
Welcome. We're on Unsuitable Language number 38. 38.
I can't believe we've made it this far, Marv.
This many.
38.
Yep.
And it's Marv Connor, John Wellington in the middle. And on the right is our guest, Chris Paugh, everybody. Chris Paugh.
Hello.
Applause. Chris Paugh.
Is that echo always there?
Is there an
You
echo?
always speak in echo?
Me?
Yeah.
I guess. Let me see him turn it
I didn't notice it. Maybe it wasn't on mine.
Doesn't always, but it is today. Let me go to my sound effect. Okay, we're recording again. The echo is gone. Chris Paugh didn't like hearing me twice.
All of the problems put on a
immediately
post-it
within-
and give it to Patrick.
There's other people who don't like hearing me, Chris.
Within 15 seconds, I was like, stop everything. Fix this shit.
Somebody's knocking. Is that the sound? Gay echo. We do all kinds of sounds. Everybody, Chris Paugh. Chris Paugh, everyone should know, is one of the founding members of the Ad Hominum Roast battle group that is now called, say it, Chris.
Roast Battle Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right.
Roast Battle Cleveland. One of, 16 cities around the world?
Yes. Yeah.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a huge
accomplishment.
Yeah, there's eight American cities and 8 international cities for a total of 16.
For our listeners, international means from another part of the world other than the United States. Just
other nations, yes.
not America. It's not America, everybody.
There's I'm not gonna name them all, but Tokyo is one of them. Montreal. There's a bunch of them.
We don't do any racist sounds here. You said Tokyo, just so you know. We don't do shit like this.
Your phone ringing.
Again, I don't have control of the board.
I got
Marv and Patrick.
Your phone ringing. Your phone going to go to voicemail. Goodbye.
You just gotta sit through it.
Your phone ringing. Your phone ringing.
Shut up.
Big boy, come pick up your phone.
Oh my god.
Your phone ringing. Your phone going to.
Do you suffer from a lack of a father figure? Do you have clinical depression? Have you ever accidentally broken your mom's favorite coffee cup, and when she found out you did it, she tied you to a bed and spanked you with a metal spatula? If you said yes to any of these things, I don't care. And to keep it a bean, no one cares.
Oh, that's helpful.
How do I avoid triggering that?
You can't. He just does. That's I haven't heard that one about the spatula thing. It made me think of was it Corey Feldman from Stand By Me when he got his ear pressed to the hot flame or whatever?
Is that what happened to Corey Feldman?
Well, the character in the movie.
I didn't know.
You don't remember? Did anybody else remember that?
What
I
movie?
don't remember that part.
Stand By Me?
Yeah,
I remember
it was
Stand By
at the
Me.
beginning.
The Goonies? What was
Well, they didn't show it, but he talked about it. That's why it's like the same treatment.
Okay.
No, I don't know. You want me to look up and see if I have any Corey Feldman sounds?
No, please.
No, we don't. That's the last thing that we want.
Especially not its music.
No. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of Corey Feldman.
Pull up his accusations against Hollywood. Those are hilarious.
He is opening for somebody. I forget who it is.
It was Michael Jackson. He bent over and opened right in front of him.
He opened. That's kind of a closer, too. Well, now we picked on Corey Feldman.
Hey, Daddy! Oh my God!
Okay. Stop it. Okay. Let's get off the sound effects. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. All right. Seriously, we talk about
What
the
do they
news
say
on here.
about if you gave a monkey a typewriter for long enough, he could pound out some Shakespeare? That's Marvel figure out a funny sound effect to play at the right time eventually.
to be or not to be. We're going to talk about monkeys later, Chris. You're jumping the script. We
We have a
way
whole
ahead of-
outline here.
we got plans. We have plans. Alexei Navalny died. He was a fighter for freedom in Russia. He wanted democracy. He believed in putting his life on the line to try to get that for the Russian people. And his reward was he was thrown into a dark, cold prison for the last 7 or 8 years, and he died. He's also the guy Putin tried to kill several times. Shot a nerve agent into him on a plane. Bunch of shit. Tried to poison him. So, not Putin's buddy.
R.I.P.
And President Biden had warned earlier that if anything happened to Navalny, there would be serious consequences for Russia.
What's that going to be?
Well, yesterday he said,
triple
they've already had it.
Yeah, they've already went as far as they can go.
He said, we've been helping Ukraine kick his ass. That's what some of the consequences is what he said. So,
okay.
Have you noticed Russia's fucked? Have you noticed
he's gonna throw some more of our money at him.
I don't know, but Navalny's got some guts, though, right? I mean, because he was gone and he came back voluntarily, and then they promptly put him in prison.
They arrested him at the airport.
He knew if he came back, he was going to be, they were going to kill him eventually. So I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Especially if I was gone, I was like out. Because I think he was like France or Germany because he had gotten poisoned and then he came back anyway.
Yep. He was gone.
And then they said it happened, Chris. He just went for a walk in 23 below weather in Serbia in the Gulag camp, and something happened to him. He came back and he wasn't feeling well.
Alexei.
Yeah. Well,
Alexei, we have pizza for you. You just have to pick up at Levry.
Yeah.
Got him!
I'm pretty sure if I was in the Gulag, I'd be in the potato fields. That'd be my
First of all, I wouldn't be there in that situation. I would fucking walk into the airport and be like, Putin rules.
Putin #1. Pussy riot. What? I'm against pussy riots, just so you know.
I would fucking stroll in there in my Putin t-shirt.
You'd be like, hey, how can I get involved in the government?
Yeah, how do I help out?
What can I do to help?
I really like what you're doing here. How can I move up? Who do I gotta kill?
I want to be with you guys.
And then you're,
he was a hero.
Setting up an interview with Tucker Carlson,
fighters.
Right?
In Europe, there were a lot of protests started up yesterday, and so Putin doesn't care. Here's what Putin said:
"I will look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you."
That was Putin.
Wow.
Sounds a lot like Liam Neeson, but
Putin has a very particular set of skills.
He does, really. He's KGB. And like Trump says, great guy. Love the guy.
Tremendous leader.
Bigliest. He's the bigliest leader I know. I love the guy.
Yeah. Give me about 3 years in America. 3 more years in America. I'll be walking around in a MAGA t-shirt.
You are fake news.
Just trying to blend in with our future.
Wrong. You're wrong, Chris. Just so you know.
I hope so.
Well, if he wins, I'm not a Navalny. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not going to any prison camps.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Biden's middle name is an inspiration.
Who's going to inspire us to fight back against the maggots?
Yeah.
Is it appropriate to call them maggots?
That's my Biden impression, by the way. Huh?
Want to see my Elon Musk impression? What's up with the Jews? No. What? I love the Jews. What do you mean? He's not a Navalny either. By the way, oftentimes we get dinged on the YouTube thing, and they said they're not going to show our video in our show in Russia because we play music. Like this. Here's John's favorite.
Helicopter, helicopter.
John hates this. We have to play it once every show. Have to play it once.
Usually when I'm talking.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
That's not obnoxious at all.
So any comments on Navalny there, John?
Well, we were talking about before that one of those poisons turned him blue or green or something like that, and he was still doing press conferences and shit. So
yeah, the Smurf fans loved that one. They were.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
got him.
I like the way
before.
I like the way Putin thinks. He's like, let's turn this guy blue. Nobody trusts him now. Just gonna giggle every time he's trying to.
You sound like a Putinist.
Well, you know.
I would, but I love poutine. So.
You know what? Was the Art of War? They say turn your opponent into Violet Beauregard, and you've won the war.
So they did. They finished him. So Navalny's dead. Any more commentary before we move on from the?
Well, I was going to ask Chris if he has put his application in for the new MAGA 4 years. That is he going to join the new?
MAGA youth.
Yeah.
The red shirts.
The Trump, yeah.
The Trump red shirts.
Put your application in because I know they're taking. They got a gathering storm, right? They're supposed to be gathering like 30,000 workers to take over immediately.
Oh,
is that what they're doing now? Well, that's super.
So you probably should get in on the ground floor.
Yeah, I mean, get a job right away if they're going to replace a bunch of people.
Yeah, you can go right into government working.
I did. I grew up in Georgia. I could slip into a Southern accent like it's nothing. All right, man.
Like a Southern lawyer?
Well, less educated. There's two Southern accents, you know.
Well, Trump's excited to hear about your loving he's.
I'm gonna come.
The smart Southern accent from like Atlanta. They say shit like acquiesce.
I'm gonna acquiesce.
And then the dumb Southern accents are like, fuck y'all.
My name is Jeff.
And
hey, we always
and
quiz
lots of the N-word.
We always quiz our guests to see if you can identify this music, Chris. Need to hear it again?
Can you play 8 more minutes of it? It sounds familiar, but I can't.
It's the intro to a particular website.
Pornhub?
Yeah, he did it. He's the first one. He's the first one.
All right.
Yeah, you did it. Chris Paugh, everybody. Chris Paugh. Where's the applause button? You got the Pornhub intro. Nice job. Okay. That was our tribute to Alexei Navalny.
You played it the first time I started to get hard. So
look, my second story on here is the moose thief. There's moose. What's the term for many moose?
Mice.
More than one moose.
It's the old Brian Regan bit. Moosin.
Yeah. The moose.
Oh,
Meese.
Where's the moose story? That's the plan for the monkeys. Where's
Spanish is vamos.
Vamos?
It's many moose.
Crash truck, Compton, Blue Women's Corpse. We did the Women's Corpse, right? No, we haven't talked about that yet.
No, we didn't talk about
I
that.
can't find the moose one.
We've only talked about Putin.
Shit.
You didn't mention moose in the pre-show.
I didn't mention moose in the pre-show.
No.
There's a moose
He likes to throw a zinger at you every now and then.
stealing from people. I can't even find it now. Fuck,
Catching me off guard with moose.
I thought they were attacking the moose, or was
there was a
moose
guy
stealing
who was
groceries, or what
arrested for
happening?
abusing the. He takes his 4-wheeler and was here. It is in Juneau,
Was
Alaska.
he chasing him?
Let me bring it up here. Here's the problem. When I bring it up and look at you guys, I can't see this. All I can see is the story. So here it comes. Let's put this up again.
He can't see us.
I can't see what's happening.
Fuck you, Marv. Oh, you can hear us though.
I can still hear you. Yeah. All right, now you see it?
That looks like the tennis shoe thing.
No. Alaska
Oh
resident.
yeah.
He's
Scroll back
harassing.
up.
He's harassing moose after posting a video online. Apparently, the moose online presence is strong in Alaska.
Died.
They do have their
Did
own
they say he
Instagram.
died?
They cited Edwards of receiving a tip from a concerned citizen, a video footage posted to Facebook. So he videoed himself hunting the moose down. Here we go.
Oh, here it is, huh?
Is this harassment?
I think that moose could kick his ass. Oh! Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's harassment.
That was that moose splayed itself like in a Disney
Yeah.
cartoon.
Yeah, I think if it was under better footing, I'd give the money to the moose. I think the moose would, you know.
Yeah.
You put your money on the moose.
Are moose
That's,
do people make moose burgers?
If they break a leg out there, they're dead.
Do people eat moose anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So is this like if somebody here were chasing down deer?
Yeah, I think it would be the same thing. And here's a video of a moose that's a little more sly.
Yeah, but is that? I don't think you're allowed to do that either, are you?
What?
To chase down deer?
Yeah.
I
don't
think
know.
it's like half of our national pastime.
Here's a moose they caught stealing.
Scooch, I'll give you the sweet potatoes. Just no yours back, buddy. I'm not. Just scooch.
Very sly moose.
Scooch, I'll give you the sweet potatoes. Just no yours back, buddy. I'm not. Just scooch.
So that was
So if our equivalent are deer, I don't have a problem with this. Because if
Them running down the moose.
yeah,
Well, no wonder you're trying to run them down with your 4-wheeler. They steal out of your fucking grocery cart in Alaska.
Well, it might be.
deer here are notorious for fucking up people's cars left and right.
Yeah, that's true. Devin's brand new Mazda he bought in 2014.
I mean, I just
He had it. He had it a week,
hunting
and
season, then
a
let
deer
him-
jumped
let him
over
do it
the.
during hunting season, you know.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
John.
it's outside of moose hunting season. Moose
Yeah.
hunting, rabbit, moose, rabbit.
Moosin. That's a funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know moose well enough to make a judgment here.
Can you charge a moose with this theft, Harry?
Yeah,
Actually, the video,
maybe they are
Hey,
like
guys.
real dicks. Like maybe
the video just made
no,
me
you're
think
not-
of a Walmart checker because he's not really taking anything.
We we don't know what that moose was doing before the video started. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to take her cart back, and he was very aggressive about it.
Empty the cart, bitch.
I didn't realize the guy was on a 4-wheeler. At first, I thought he was chasing him down on foot. If you can chase a moose down
No,
on
that would have
foot,
been fantastic. That would have been
Yeah.
fantastic.
if you can chase a moose on foot and tackle it, you're allowed to fuck it then.
Or even if
That's
he,
the-
yeah, or even if
that's
he was
the
trying to
rules.
like jump on it and
Yeah.
ride it, I would respect that a little bit more.
That's the
That's the
rules.
rules.
Like
the
an
rules
Atreyu
of moose
thing.
fucking.
Yeah,
Well, that's why we brought an
later.
expert on. We brought an expert on for moose fucking. We had to say, who do we know that could tell us the rules for moose fucking?
Yeah, if you're fast enough to catch it, it's
on that
That's-
ice in the snow.
that's kinda-
fair game. Just use every part of it, like the
If that's
Native
Chris's
Americans.
rules for fucking things, I think we're in trouble, John.
Just don't go near ice with Chris. He's gonna chase you down, wait till you fall, and then it's over.
Don't be gross. I'm only talking about moose.
Oh, it's only fast enough for moose, for mooses.
More of a challenge.
Yeah, I don't feel the same way about slow animals.
I extrapolated too much. I'm a big extrapolator. All right. So that's the end of the moose tales. Oh, wait, we could write a book. Wait. Trump. What do you think? 350 million, was it enough?
If it bankrupted him out of running for president, I think that's the amount I'm looking for him to get fined.
It's not.
The point where
he'll-
he just goes, "All right, fuck, I give up."
They just give him money, these crazy peoples in this country.
They can't possibly have enough if you've seen the economy.
So the fine
That
was
is funny, though.
350 million.
You're right. That is funny. They bitch about how bad the economy is or was, but they were still selling out of Trump merchandise.
Yeah, they're still
They had
yeah.
enough money to buy all that shit.
These
But
fucking
Jordan-
idiots are still buying it.
Jordan Klepper did that show to the guy, goes, well, everything's so rough, I can't even afford to eat. And he goes, well, how much did you pay for that outfit you have on? Well, $2,000.
Yeah, he's head to toe in Trump paraphernalia.
How many Trump hats? I've about 45 Trump hats. 45.
I'm waiting for the Trump suit that is just like a bunch of Trump heads. Like they have the
That's-
pumpkin guy or whatever.
That has I guarantee that exists in some like something very close to that already exists.
It would have to.
I've we've seen all the American flag tuxedos, and I'm sure somebody
Right.
thought to put Trump on it.
His
Hey,
name
maybe
is
we-
Donald.
I don't know.
I don't
That-
even
that
know
be
what to say
considered
about this
parody?
shit
Could we
anymore,
make
man.
money
Like,
off that?
I don't know what to say about it anymore. I mean, 7-8 years into this shit, it's just it's ruined our reality. I hate that I had to live during this this Trump era and the whole thing, man.
It's horrible.
Well, like we talked about
Because-
before, he broke so many norms that it's just like it's hard to go back, and then it's like, are they going to be able to fix any of the things that he broke so badly?
It's gonna we'll all be dead. It's gonna take decades to right the ship if it's even possible.
You are fake news.
He's the
Yeah,
greatest.
that even, in a just a little bit smarter country would call that misinformation. But we're going fake news.
Yeah, there's no such thing as fake news. News is news. Whether it's
Yeah.
true or not is a question, right?
Which I'm sure my theory on that is it came from him in the 80s telling his ex-wives when the tabloids would show him with other women, that's fake news. And it
Yeah.
was at that point.
I
Tabloids
love when he
were
talks,
fake
he does
news.
this. And then when he comes out to the song, YMCA, that's how he dances. Like he's jerking off two guys. I love him. I love him.
Wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm right. Okay. So it's 350 million plus 100 million interest plus 88.8 million to Eugene Carroll. So he's looking at right now around $548 million that he has to, if he wants to appeal it, he has to put that much up or a bond for that much. Who's going to loan him $500 million?
Somebody.
Well, not the
Bezos.
Pillow Man, right? He lost that kind of factor, right? Because that guy's
He's
about
broke. The pillow guy's
bankrupt,
broke.
didn't he?
He
Elon
still loves
Musk.
Trump.
Do you think Elon Musk will put up the money?
He might.
That would be a
Possibility.
huge.
Apparently, billionaires have trouble raising $500 million. So doesn't make any sense to me. But
Because it's all a lot of it's theoretical money.
Yeah, some of it's just numbers and how much things are worth.
how much cash would you, if you were a billionaire? If you were a billionaire, how much cash would you keep at your mansion?
Oh man, at least like $15-20.
You got to pay the Uber guy, delivery guy, right? You got to pay the.
It would be
delivery
great
guy.
if at least one of them was doing the Scrooge McDuck thing with the vault. At least one.
If you were a billionaire, would you have a DoorDash guy on call? I mean, he just delivers for you. He sits at a little booth outside of your mansion.
No, I mean, I think you have a personal chef, right?
Yeah, you just have. I have a McDonald's in my house.
Yeah. What was that like? There's I forget which football player has it. It was part of a commercial where he had a Taco Bell in his house or some shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's the move. If you're gonna be that big a piece of shit to hoard that much wealth, you just have a Taco
would it
Bell.
just serve you, no one else?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just have a courtyard of
you guys
food
could
trucks?
stop by if you want.
Would you have a courtyard of food trucks?
A compound. Compound with a harem.
I think just have.
What makes a regular piece of property into a compound? Is it like the wall? Is it a wall all the way around?
I think it's
it?
the number of guns you have. I think.
What's the escalation of compound? It's guns.
I think it's the number of guns.
The security.
Oh well, shit! I grew up on a compound. If it's just guns and dogs hooked up on chains in the middle of the yard with dog houses,
you gotta have. First of all, you gotta have some wide-eyed young girls there. That's one of the rules.
Okay.
And you have to have their parents and the kids, and they all got to marry you, and no one else. There's got to be a lot of guns. The guns are what the guns are the tickets for the FBI to come in. You don't have the guns.
I don't know what makes a compound a compound.
What makes a girl wide-eyed, Marv?
How's one up? I already hit the button, guys. I can't take it back. Say it again.
What makes a girl wide-eyed, Marv?
Disney movies. Disney movies. That's my final answer.
Sure.
Okay.
Dolphins, when she swims with dolphins?
I think it's just if there's more than an inch or two between their eyes.
I'm gonna measure my eyes. Let's get a measurement.
Don't put your roller up to your face. You're gonna make your face smell like your dick.
Where do you start from?
Well, what is it, like an inch would make it wide eyes? What?
You start from the balls.
Or do you mean like
as your eyes? You
like
measure your eyes
big
by starting with the ball sack.
Yeah.
See my financial advisor? You can't see it.
I thought you go from the taint. Is that not correct?
No. No.
Are we talking about the same thing here? I don't think we're talking about this.
Do you have a boing sound effect?
I do.
Don't do it.
Got a lot of them.
Good job. Way to go. You got him started.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is the one that gets us for Russia. Oh, I can't play it. Russia will ding us. It's a MC Hammer one. We can't play that.
Oh, they're not.
They're saying we're
Cage,
stealing their
scam.
copyright. I don't know. Russia's like, you can't touch this. Comrade, you can't touch.
They only let you play hammer. It's hammer and sickle time.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right. Where'd my camera go? Oh, okay. All right. So Trump owes a shit ton of money, and he's still running for president. And he's got these are the rulings this week. Supreme Court is looking at his. They haven't decided if they're taking up the immunity argument yet. There's still a chance they'll give it back to the appellate court, and that'll be it. No immunity.
Interject right there, because I'm curious. So if he gets total immunity, does that not mean that Joe Biden currently would have total immunity as president?
Okay, here's the caveat. The only caveat was they said if a president is convicted of and impeached, then he's not immune. So if he's impeached and convicted, that is the only crime he can be charged with.
But he's not president currently, so
no. So yes, in theory, Biden would have total immunity, and the only way he could ever be convicted is if the Senate convicted him.
So, well, then that depends on the makeup of the
lawyers are doing
Senate.
like a double talk defense.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
he said he could kill his opponent.
That's what I'm saying. Is couldn't Biden, if they give Trump total immunity, then we could just have them fist fight, like in a death match, and just pick the president that way. Because whoever,
at that point, you kind of got to go with Trump a little bit because he's got him on the weight at least, right?
The No Malarkey Express is coming your way, Donald. The No Malarkey Express.
I don't know though, because have you ever do you guys know any nurses, any ladies that have worked in nursing homes? Because they're constantly fighting off those old men.
So well, yeah, Biden is spry, so maybe he would run around the ring and get Trump all.
Yeah, they're always telling us how he can still ride a Peloton. I mean, I think Trump is going to get winded very early. So Biden's got the cardiovascular advantage.
As long as Trump doesn't sit on him or anything.
Yeah. If Trump got him in a corner, then I think that's where Biden, and kind of give him a body check or something like that.
Yeah. I think also on hand size, Biden's got the bigger punching, ability.
Well, Trump is like 6. They say 6'5", but he's 6'3", 6 foot.
He might have more reach, but I'm saying Biden's got bigger hands.
He's got to be 350, even though his bio says 215.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the strategy would be Biden runs around, Trump has a heart attack, right?
A little rope-a-dope, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. A little rope-a-dope.
The only bad part is, if like you're suggesting, and I kind of agree with this idea, if we solved a lot of our conflicts with just the leaders, fighting each other.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to give the numbers to Putin, but I definitely think that he would have, at least a little bit of a benefit against, Joe.
Well, he's a murderer. He was a case.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
He's killed before. He's got that behind him.
That's a good point. Putin probably in a street fight.
You want to play? Let's play.
Hopefully, he would have to go through Zelensky first in that scenario. He's like a younger
comedian.
Yeah,
you've seen comedians fight, Chris.
Zelensky looks a little tough, but I mean, I don't know. Putin. Like, if we were going to put down money.
How rough do you think a Russian open mic night is?
You know the rules, and so do I. Say goodbye.
Oh, man. Mark's got his momentum killing buttons over there.
In this corner, we have Vladimir Putin. Because it's
so Zelensky doing a tight 5 on how his balls are too sweaty in freedom fighting.
Trump would be like,
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay.
No one knows what he's talking about.
This is Sparta!
okay. So we're recapping Trump's cases. So Supreme Court's still looking at whether he has total immunity or not. I can't believe it's taking this long because it should be just like, no one has that.
Well, look,
it should be 9-0.
Those Supreme Court justices that he appointed, they have a lot to consider. He
Once you're
gave them the
appointed, no.
job.
Yeah, but
He gave.
so
I
what?
mean, yeah, they already have it, but the death threats, all right,
Oh,
all the money
yeah.
that they won't get anymore.
Yeah, I imagine they get those already. I mean, it's hard for Clarence Thomas even to take his RV out for a spin anymore, probably.
It must be awful.
That he got a loan for and he never paid. And someone else paid it off.
The Christian money.
But I think, like we were talking about before, that Trump's broke things so much that even like you were saying, Marv, Clarence Thomas didn't feel the need to recuse himself.
Yeah.
No.
And,
Yeah, his wife
before
his wife is actively
that happened.
campaigning for Trump. By every standard, he should have recused himself. And
I'll go further. It's his. He feels a duty to not recuse himself out of his loyalty.
He's indignant about it. He just doesn't give a shit.
Who appointed
he
Clarence
wants to be
Reagan?
in there. It's not a it's a compliance
that was
with
Bush.
Trump, not just
Was it Bush?
What's
Thomas
that?
was a Bushy.
Clarence Thomas was Bush, right?
I remember Biden was one of the people that actually attacked.
was like 92.
Anita Hill. Biden
Wasn't like
was one of the
91 or
people.
92.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's been on that like
Maybe Reagan.
Republican money train for so long. He's obligated to stay on if he can and not recuse himself. Hopefully they just avoid deciding and send it back to the lower court. I think that would be the best outcome. Actually, the best outcome would be for both of these old fucks to pass away before November.
It was George H. Bush that appointed him. You're right.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that too. If it was, if it was Haley and Biden, we were kind of thinking that more than likely Haley wins, right?
I think that's all the polling indicates.
Yeah, I think anybody under 60 would beat Biden.
Well, except for our buddy RFK Jr.
Well,
I don't know that guy's gonna.
Oh yeah, he had it. Well, I wanted to wrap up the cases, but and then the Georgia case, Bonnie Willis was accused of giving money to a fellow prosecutor to enriching her life. So just using this case as a way to make money for herself. And that pretty much, I watched the hearing and it looked like they pretty much blew that out of the water, that it's doubtful that she'll be disqualified from the case.
Yeah, her testimony, she went crazy on it. Well, not crazy on him, but she went after him.
She didn't. She just started telling these stories like, my daddy said, you have cash in the house. You keep cash. Like, if I don't have $20,000. Daddy says you got to have $20,000. I mean, you're telling everybody in the country you keep $20,000 at your place. Well, I don't always have $20,000. Sometimes it dips down. So, well, that's how cash works. But yeah, it doesn't grow. Cash in the house doesn't grow.
I haven't been following that, but the last thing I saw was they somehow it means Trump is innocent because she fucked a prosecutor.
Yeah, somehow.
I don't know what that even has to do with it.
All you need is 20,000 votes. Unless you fucked a prosecutor, then I don't even need that.
And she pointed it out during her testimony. She pointed it out and pointed right at him. He's like, this has nothing to do with me or anything, and this has to do with you guys trying to rig an election. So
yeah, I don't know, and like the audacity of these people to bring that up, like within 6 weeks of Trump's rape defamation lawsuit. Like, you get the fuck out of here. Nobody
went all-
cares who anybody fucks anymore. Nobody
That-
cares about your comers.
Well, I think some people still care. And Joel Osteen, someone shot up his church, so could happen
Oh
to
no.
I mean, couldn't
Yeah.
happen to a nicer guy, right?
shot up the Osteen
Well,
church.
not the
Piece of
people
shit.
in there. Don't get me wrong, not the people in there, but at least, you know.
Joel.
You mean the
Yeah.
dummies that made him a billionaire?
Yeah, I mean, you know, but still, yeah. But
And so that case is, and then in the Mar-a-Lago case, the judge denied Trump's appeal, which was very surprising to change the date of the case.
So it is gonna go forward?
No, it's only tentative. Everyone thinks she's not going to go when she said, which was March 4th, which is not going to happen. You know, but he tried to get her to delay it, and she wouldn't delay it, which surprised everybody.
yeah, that's that judge that's supposed to be in his pocket.
Yeah, and pretty much she has been.
Yeah.
So I mean, what they're really looking for is for this election to be more of to really be the trial. It's like the trial and the election are going to run concurrently.
Well,
that's kind of what it seems like the Supreme Court is insinuating by everything. When I listen to, you know, the arguments and everything, they're basically saying that they didn't want one state to be able to basically decide an election.
No, that
and they should fucking say if you're going to court to defend yourself against 100 felonies, you shouldn't run for president this time.
Well, that would have to be a constitutional change.
So if I get arrested, if I have to go to trial, if I just run for office, I don't have to go to court.
Well, some offices you can actually not run for, but president only has the 4 requirements.
That's why he ran for president the first time.
Born here,
so he could avoid all of these charges.
Live here the last 14 years and not commit insurrection. That was the 4. So if they said he committed insurrection, but the Supreme Court is probably going to blow all that off because they all, every one of them sounded like they didn't want to decide this.
Yeah, they don't want the the ire of the MAGA people and stuff. I mean, you saw when they executed the search warrant, one of those nuts went and tried to have a shootout with the FBI and got himself killed.
Right. In Ohio, wasn't it?
They feel, in Cincinnati, I think. You know, once these people feel betrayed by the Supreme Court, like, that puts a target on their backs from all these nutty fucking militias and stuff.
And then there is a trial.
Goes to show you how fragile all of it really is. You know what I mean? It's just held up by a piece of paper and not much more.
Yeah, we're so fucked.
Well, and then the March 25th is a certain date for the Alvin Bragg trial, which is the hush money trial, where he's being accused of defraud, election interference by not releasing the information about having the affairs, and that's got jail time connected to it if he's convicted.
Is that the Stormy Daniels still?
Yeah, Stormy Daniels and McDougal. And it's also putting that Inquirer magazine on notice because they, I think maybe he took a plea deal, the owner of Inquirer, because they were buying the story. It's capture and bury, or what they call it, catch and bury. They would catch a story, they would buy the rights to the story, then they would bury it.
Or catch and kill, right?
Catch and kill. That's the McDougal story. That's the playmate, Playboy girl. Lady, Playboy woman, playmate, Catherine McDougal,
play person. It's 2024, Marv.
I don't know what to call. I call the people I masturbate to. I don't know what to call them. But.
Them.
Hey, I didn't know Playboy doesn't have naked people in it anymore. Did you guys know that?
The fuck is it for then?
Yeah, it's like since 2017 they haven't had naked people in it. Well, I think they put a guy in.
I have heard this. It was always too tasteful to jack off to anyways.
I remember first time I saw one. It did all right for jacking off. I didn't have any.
Yeah, well, I mean, sure, in 1910 when when you started, that was pretty racy.
Yeah, you and Fatty Arbuckle were just
I'm
like,
sure you were pulling off to fucking
remember-
ankle shots.
I remember I'd seen the Playboys for years, and then I saw my first Hustler magazine. I'm going, oh my gosh, there's all that down there too. It's
I
not
thought
just.
a cream pie was just a dessert.
I'll never forget the first Hustler I saw. It had a Superman comic where he came and Lois's head was shot up into the ceiling. I told
man,
you.
some of the things in Hustler was just foul, though. It was just like,
I do that joke. I go, I thought I found an old Hustler scratch and sniff. It just turns out it was an old map of SeaWorld.
How long have you been doing that joke?
Well, SeaWorld was open. So, do you remember SeaWorld?
Vaguely.
I'm suing Larry Flint. I'm suing Larry Flint because he said I smelled a scratch as if it smelled like roses and flowers. The first time I smelled a pussy, it smelled like the shithouse door on a tuna trawler.
Again, back before this was the back before we had indoor plumbing. Marv's first time. So
I think that joke was used on the Grumpy Old Men. Was that 1 or 2, Marv?
Is that sound messed up because my speaker came out? Does it sound okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take it off then. I don't know if it was on Grumpy Old Men. I don't remember watching Grumpy Old Men. You trying to say I'm stealing jokes?
You are Grumpy Old Men.
Marv's first time watching porn, it was silent.
It was drawings. You had to flip the pages.
Yeah,
the
he was
lady
in the
held up
presence
a the
of
lady
20 other
held up a
guys.
sign. She held up a sign that said "Ooh."
Everybody in the
yeah.
theater clapped.
It's pick on Marv time. All right, I got it.
You're
What's
old
gonna
as
happen
fuck.
now?
That's what we're saying.
Now,
You old bitch.
Say my name.
All right. All right, what's next on the hit parade there? It keeps us on track.
Super Bowl.
goddamn right.
Oh, there was also the shooting in Kansas City, right?
Yeah. Well, the Super Bowl first, they were right. It was rigged for Biden and Taylor Swift. What a game. I loved the game. I thought it was a fantastic game. I didn't care who won.
I didn't. I don't pay attention.
You didn't watch it? No.
No.
25-22 in overtime. So really good Super Bowl. Taylor Swift was minimally. She was hardly involved with the broadcast. They just cut to her like 20 times, but each time was like 3-4 seconds. So
I mean, it was probably like a total of a minute, though, maybe even less than that, though, right?
on
Including
stage,
that.
she wasn't even there with him.
What's that? What's that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch I don't watch the after stuff, so I don't know.
Oh.
I watched the new CBS special tracker. That's what I watched.
How was that, Marv?
It was good. I liked it.
Did he find him?
Yeah, he does his job. He
Yeah,
saved the kid's
good.
life. Saved the kid's
Good.
fucking life, John. Just say.
All right. The made up kid.
Can't leave the Trump stories though until we talk about his sneakers.
Oh, yeah. You
NBA
said you were
came
gonna
out
buy a
with
pair, right, Chris? To fit in?
the same day. Yeah, I'm gonna run out and get. I expect to see Chris Paul in a pair.
Hey,
That is
gold
true.
sneakers.
If you're MAGA working for Trump, do you have to be like all in Trump gear all the time? Like if you were like,
I would
You
think
know,
so.
I'm a Bears
sure
fan. you
It
know.
can't hurt, you know.
Look,
They
I
are
got your shoes on. I got your tie on. I just ate a steak.
gold sneakers.
Let's show him
Yeah.
here. Let's do the. Let me bring it up. Boom. All right, I gotta go. I gotta find the page.
What's the durability on those things? $400.
They last for about an hour after you leave the
Right.
store.
What were
Branded
those one
shoes.
shoes? Were they and one shoes or something like that? That as soon as the
Yeah.
guy played them, they broke.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know any shoes that broke right away. Here's his little press conference on the
Incredible
shoes.
people that work with me on things, and they came up with this, and this is something I've been talking about for 12 years, 13 years, and I think it's going to be a big success. That's the real deal. That's the real deal.
Listen to those people cheer.
Oh, there's a flag at the top.
Go out and vote, right? We have to go out and vote.
Why? Elections are rigged. Why would you bother voting?
You're going to vote, and we're going to turn this thing around. This country's not doing so well. We're going to turn this country around fast. We're going to turn it around fast. And we're going to remember the young people, and we're going to remember SneakerCon. You know that. It's a slightly different audience than I'm used to, but I love this audience. And go out, have a good time. We love you all. Thank you very much.
I don't know. I saw a picture of him the other day, and he did not look good. Like once you look through the paint and how his hair is kind of thinning a little bit.
Oh, he's very stressed out.
Medical
I
discovery.
think he looks a lot. Actually, I think he looks worse than Thurston
Sorry, guys.
Biden.
One of those fucking pop-up videos got me. Sorry.
Yeah, the golden sneakers. He says he's been talking about it for 12, 13 years.
When I first entered the NBA,
when he first heard, can you look up what year LeBron James put out a shoe? When were the first Air Force Ones? Or
was
are
even
those
before he was a
LeBrons?
player, I'm pretty sure.
What's that?
It had to be before he even got signed because his shoe deal was before he got paid for the shoes before he got in the pros.
But he didn't have his own his LeBrons. I think he just had the Nike deal when he first when he left high school.
Generation LeBron 1, 2003.
Okay, so 10 years earlier.
Well, that would have been when he entered the league.
20 years
I
ago.
just have a feeling that Trump was sitting somewhere and he saw a commercial and he saw that young black men had some shoe named after him. And he went, I want that. We need that. I want one of those.
Shoes, if you look at those shoes, they look like they're circa Rocky Balboa boxing shoes.
We call that a throwback, John.
Yeah.
That's the shoe right there.
It's vintage.
And they just painted them gold.
Yeah, they had American flags on the sides.
Yeah, on the top of them. They're like the high top with a kind of odd looking.
I wonder if he tried Chuck Taylor Chuck Taylor always has the they have different celebrity editions of their shoes.
Yeah.
I wonder if they tried to get a Trump edition before they went and made a whole shoe.
So you're saying it's a Rocky?
It didn't work out.
Ding ding. That was.
I'm just saying those shoes just what they remind me of.
You're fucked over my music.
Oh, thank you.
We got all the Rocky stuff.
When the 15 bucks you're coming out.
That's it.
That's a lot of sound effects, Marv.
There's thousands on here.
You know what I didn't know, Marv? Maybe you knew this, but Burgess Meredith was one of the ones who stood up to who was the guy that was after the commies in the 50s? McCarthy. Who stood up to McCarthy and wouldn't name names.
Nice.
From Lakewood, Ohio, oddly enough.
That took a lot back then. A lot of people were being coerced into pretending to be communists, and it had nothing to do with it. It was crazy.
He was always good in the Twilight Zones.
So we should have recognized that this what's happening now with the MAGA probably wasn't that big of a stretch, because even in 1932, before Hitler had rose to absolute power, the Republicans had sponsored a coup against Roosevelt. There's even a movie about it starring Christopher Bale is in it. Can't remember the name of the movie. It's a really weird movie.
Didn't Christian Bale play Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I used to call Vice.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
It was. But this was a coup that the rich people of the country did not want Roosevelt because they thought he was a socialist, but they preferred fascism. So they they paid for an army to be built.
Fascism is less expensive for rich people.
And the only reason it failed was because they approached a former Marine hero. I always forget his name. Doolittle. No, that's not. That's a pilot.
That's a doctor that
Anyways,
talks to
the
animals.
Marine.
Was his name Captain America?
Marine turned him in. Is why they got caught, and then it was buried in the National Archives. The Marine was very pissed off about it. He thought they should have all gone to jail. It was what were the factories? Ford, DuPont. Who's the guy in gas stations? Who's that guy?
Rockefeller?
A bunch of rich people were
Yeah.
paying to have a coup against Roosevelt. But it was all buried in the National Archives because my theory is when they caught him, I would guess Roosevelt probably made a deal with him that we won't ruin you if you let me do what I want to do.
Yeah, or send him to jail, right? They weren't going to go to jail anyway.
It would have been treason. So I can't remember the general's name, but
but then would that have sent the economy into a tailspin? If you'd have
probably.
like 5 of the top, billionaires or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, that's the whole situation. Is those people have to be taken down at some point. We just keep kicking it down the road to,
and they just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Smedley Butler, that was the general who stopped him.
How do you forget that name?
Right.
I forget a lot of stuff, Chris.
We were one Smedley away from everything getting completely.
He stood up against, and he reported him. He told him, he said, "Hey, these guys are fucking plotting to take over the country."
Now, don't you?
No. He misunderstood us. The 100,000 troops.
In many ways, they won. They have taken over the country.
Yeah.
The rich run.
But that was Reagan.
Shit show.
I think Reagan's mostly responsible for that of any era in American history. Everything changed with Reagan. He convinced everybody that taxes are bad. That you don't have to pay for anything. You get it all free.
Yeah.
That everybody built everything on their fucking own. They don't use the electrical grid or the roads or the airline systems. They don't use any of that to get rich. It's all on their own. They just did it on their own. The internet.
Individualism.
Yeah. They completely built their entire fortune on their own with not one person's help. I got
to some extent with some of these people, if you've inherited it, then they kind of believe that,
Sure.
Yeah, my dad did everything.
I inherited debt is all I inherited. I still owe $80,000, I think, from my family.
Because remember whenever Bush was running, and even as they went through that whole death tax thing, they changed the words from inheritance tax to the death tax.
Yeah.
There's a whole big deal about it.
Oh, they're big with the words. All right, you know what? There are some things we need to. We're almost at an hour. I do want to talk about because Chris is an expert in this. The Denver, Colorado seems to have a problem with funeral homes not quite getting the job done. They take the bodies home with them, Chris.
Yeah, we were going over that earlier before we started recording. It looks like they to save money, they don't actually fire up the cremation furnace. They just store the bodies and give them fake ashes or something.
It's usually a failing business, which I guess you can lose money. People die every day, so if you're losing money at it, I guess it's not. There we go.
Yeah. If you're in the death business and you're not doing enough business, you're doing it wrong.
Is the screen showing?
Yeah. The real strange part was they didn't really do a very good job of hiding everything.
Well, I didn't find it till he got evicted.
Well, didn't they have one in the garage or something like
So he
that?
didn't live there. This woman's corpse was in the. Let's see. Kept a deceased woman's body in a hearse for 2 years at a house where police also found the cremated remains of at least 30 people.
Okay, so maybe she was in the back of a hearse. I just thought she was riding shotgun.
So the only thing I caught in there is like I know that the cremated cremains don't always get claimed. So over a couple of decades, if you're a small service like that, you could end up storing up a whole lot of ashes.
These say the remains appear to be from 2012 and 2021, anywhere between that time. So that makes sense. If you don't come claim your remains, someone's got to hold them, right?
Yeah. So that might be why they have so many.
Yeah,
if people don't pay, you have to pay for them. If you don't pay, then you don't get the cremains back, which is a crazy policy, but it also costs them money to store, and it's not free to burn bodies.
And then there was another case in Colorado Springs where a married couple were arrested for allegedly abandoning almost 200 bodies over several years inside a bug-infested facility and giving fake ashes to family members of the deceased. So they didn't burn the bodies, and they gave them fake ashes.
My guess is their furnace broke and they didn't have the money to repair it.
Harness?
And
is this a sex swing kind of thing that we're talking about?
Furnace, Marv, furnace.
Oh, furnace. Oh.
The furnace, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, they just got that corpse in the sex swing, and that's how they cremate? A hot, sexy fire?
The operators of another funeral home in western Colorado city of Montrose received federal prison sentences last year for mail fraud after they were accused of selling body parts and distributing fake ashes.
Yeah.
They were selling body parts. More than 24 additional criminal cases and complaints involving Colorado funeral homes since 2007 were detailed in January to lawmakers and state regulators. So apparently, if you want to get arrested for this, that's the place to go.
Yeah, some of those sound like there's sort of an explanation to me, like the unclaimed cremains.
That makes sense. I never thought of that.
The other ones,
well, yeah, if you're selling body parts, that's kind of cut and dry.
It's pretty.
That's pretty fucking funny, Marvin.
Fucked up.
Cut and dry.
Yeah, I don't know. All I could say is like those people weren't using those parts anymore.
Well, this one will probably. Here's some music. It's going to get us dinged.
That's got to be some weird property law there, right? Where as far as ownership goes and the cremated remains, you're talking about if they owe the debt, then they technically own that person's remains.
I don't know. I think they have to give you the ashes. I don't think they can withhold the ashes just because you owe them. Hey, look, you want your mama's ashes? You pay your bills, all right?
I think
I don't know. That's why I'm
wondering. It kind of is the way it works.
Yeah.
I've told my kids, when I die, if they bring my body to the hospital, before there's a funeral home picked, just refuse to pick it up. And the state has to burn you and just get rid of the ashes themselves.
Is that right?
Yeah. They can't just have a body and not do anything with it.
And they could have a celebration of life with your picture, and that's that.
Yeah. Then they don't have to get my ashes. And my son's a sweet kid. He was like, I'll buy your ashes. Like,
what are they going to go for, Dad? 50, 60 bucks?
The cheapest I've seen is $700-800 for
those are some good ashes
for cremation.
Man. Yeah, and you're right. If the state will
$800 cremation,
they'll do it for free.
Is it in Colorado?
So, but does that become the state's property after they've cremated you or cremated the person?
My best guess, because I'm not sure, is that it just falls on the hospital to get rid of biohazards. Like like if they cut somebody's leg off in surgery, whatever they would have to do with that, like legally, like
Yeah.
the way that you dispose of those things, it would be the same for ashes or whatever.
It's probably like a Potter's Field kind of theory.
Yeah, like the old, unmarked graves for poor people and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they were just doing that, just for fucking fun. They'd drop them out in the Potter's Field and not give a shit.
Yeah.
We're
The
at
selling
hour
of parts,
5.
man, I don't know. It is true they're not using them. It's like a junkyard.
So I was always, my wife wants to donate her body to science, which is, I think, is kind of, not for me, but that's what she wants to do.
Care. I'm dead. I'm dead. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what she says. So, but I always found that to be like an interesting thing to happen too. If you're just like, I'm gonna go visit my wife, and she's in the science lab over here.
Well, I mean, I don't know how recognizable you would be once you're just a cadaver.
I got a weird death story. You guys want to hear it? We're at hour 6. Anybody care?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, go ahead.
What kind of story?
I had a brother that was killed. He was run over by a school bus, and I was only like 3, so I don't even remember him really. But then I was playing football at Akron U on the day of his birthday, and just about the time he was killed, a kid that was in juvenile, no, what do they call it? Criminal justice. He was studying criminal justice. He set a file down next to me in the locker room, and it was about my brother. It was his case where he was run over by the bus. Right at the time that he died, 20 years later. It's like, oh, this is fucking weird that I would see this file about my brother. Makes you wonder, oh, it's one of those ghost kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
Why would it on his birthday?
Did he happen to see this file and go?
Yeah, he set it down. He goes, I'm doing this case about a kid who got run over by a bus. So I looked at it, and it was my brother. I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, geez. What, did you find out anything in it?
Not really. It was pretty much the way they said. He dropped his Easter basket, bent over to pick up the eggs, and the bus driver ran him over.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's pretty much, it's pretty simple case. I mean,
I thought you were going to say that he had, like, this other guy had a transplant of some kind as a kid or something like that.
No. It was just weird that I get to see the file on my brother's birthday, almost the same time that he died.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. So I was like, oh. And it was spring football because it was in April because he died Easter, but oh well. I thought it was weird. Sent shivers down my spine.
Great closer, Marv.
Not a closer. We got a guy who set the world matchbook record for matches up his nose. What do you think we?
I think the only reason you would never even attempt that unless you planned on lighting them, right?
Let's see it. Watch. We had a poetry book return 93 years later. Here it is. Here's the world's record. Is John back yet?
I don't know where he went. Does he just disappear sometimes?
He just goes away. That's how committed we are to.
Your story bugged him out so much he left. He was like, God damn, dead brother, I'm out of here.
Oh, man.
There he is.
Ryan, you worried about my dead brother? I didn't even know him. I mean, I'm sure
was
I met
it a
him.
big bus?
Yeah, school bus.
Did you say was it a big bus?
It was a school bus. All right.
It was the short bus.
We got oh, I hit the thing too soon. I got to put it on here.
But was he waiting for it?
Yeah. No, he got off the bus. He dropped his Easter egg basket. It was before they had safety patrols.
Oh,
is when-
you didn't mention the Easter egg basket. Shit, I wouldn't have made the joke.
He
Fucked up.
dropped the Easter egg basket and bent over to pick up his stuff, and the bus driver thought he'd cleared already and ran him over.
Oy.
Wait a minute, John. You think the Easter basket part is what makes that story too sad?
I was envisioning a teenager.
Oh.
He was 5.
Yeah.
He was 5. All right, here's our closer today. You ready? You got to find it now. Boom. World record matchbooks. How many matchsticks
This week
can
in
you stick up your nose?
2020,
Would
the
you eat this
wave was
cake?
a
What is
massive
this?
73.5 feet tall.
That's not it.
That's
Welcome
hilarious
to Record
that the
Week.
matchstick guy's got to follow the
Fucking
record for the
matchbook
largest
guy.
wave.
Where'd you go, matchbook guy?
Talking about inferiority, though.
Oh my god. It says Danish matchstick guy right there.
Yeah, maybe it's just coming up in the video.
I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be a wave.
You don't have it
Danish?
Here's a crossbow shot, chain reaction.
Yeah, these are all the records, right?
Woo!
I mean, that's cool and all, but what record is that?
Marcel built this souped up.
What are people doing, man?
Again, these are countries where
It's top
they got nothing better to do.
2.24 miles
These
per
are
hour.
countries
92
where they,
miles an hour.
where they have socialism.
My balls.
Remember this record from a few weeks ago? Well, there's a new record holder in town.
Oh my god. Fuck all these people.
Christian Mercurio boxed 36 balloons into oblivion in just 1 minute.
I think we can do that.
Sophia Hayden is attempting the
All
record
right.
for most sweaters worn at once. We'll check back in with her later in the video. This week in 2009, we measured Sultan Kozan at 8 foot and 1 inch tall, making him officially the world's tallest living man. Sultan stopped growing in 2010 after a life-saving surgery removed the tumour on his pituitary gland, which had caused his gigantism. In 2011, he was measured at his final height, an unbelievable 8 foot and 2 inches. He also holds the record for the largest hands, which measure 11.22 inches from the wrist to the tip of the middle finger.
Ladies.
Now, 15 years after we first introduced Sultan to the world, we caught up with him behind the scenes of the...
All right. That looks like a miserable life. Anybody else?
I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't know anything else, so.
It's all because his pituitary was fucked.
Yeah.
She's right. Oh, don't put a kid next to his dick.
I'm not sure that was a kid. That may have been an adult at his height.
Yeah, a 20-year-old woman.
Oh, this is how much longer you can spend water? I don't know.
I just don't.
An amazing 20
Some of these records are.
seconds before bursting.
The longest lasting bubble.
I mean,
Man, people will just do anything not to be one of the billion regular.
She's using her boobs. That ain't fair.
Milika 21 hand release push-ups in 1 minute.
yeah, I don't think push-ups were. You're supposed to lay flat like that,
There's no way those even count.
right?
She barely got her ass in the air. Most sweaters.
All right, sweaters.
Still going on.
Sweaters in, and Sophia is looking toasty.
I mean, like, if you like swam all the oceans, comparing yourself to, well, fucking banana guy here.
Banana with no hands is 9.7 seconds.
Are you in the same world record league?
After his amazing basketball records last week, Joshua Walker is back with 3 more.
And 2 days later,
Someone else does it the next day.
I mean,
But would you take a bite of this cake? Made for Queen Victoria and Prince Albert's wedding day on the 10th of February,
wait, what the
1840.
fuck is this?
This slice of spousal sponge
Just an old cake.
Ah.
is this week.
The oldest cake. Marv was there.
It's like a whole town, like a whole town had their whole around the cake. Like it was like that was their one prized possession, and they had a festival every year for that dead piece of cake.
The answer? Our final is 10,568 items. Congratulations to those who got it.
So this guy's got a record because he bought a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Attempting to
He's got the most Transformers toys.
I mean, I like Transformers, but
He's also been a virgin for the longest time.
This is last year. Yadula the Lazari managed to jump 4.42 feet onto a platform.
Wow. Oh, hey. Hey now.
Achieved 24 contortion roll
I just would not want her to walk on her hands towards me. That would creep the shit out of me.
I wouldn't mind.
You're like, I'm into spider ladies.
Anything to keep from watching any more of those Sony Spider-Man things.
This week in 2013, Joel Heffernan mixed the Winston, the world's most expensive cocktail. It went for an
I mean,
I
don't know. These things that are just sometimes like a waste of time.
It contains 60 milliliters of cognac.
I don't know how it serves a purpose, but I guess that's where capitalism comes in, right?
The only real purpose is that some human being gets to have their name in a book.
Well, this is a tribute to fellow comedian Bill Stone, who's going for the world record this week for longest comedy show.
Cornelius downed 249 blueberries in just 3 minutes.
With paying customers. You got to have paying customers.
It's National Pizza Day in the UK, and we're remembering some of our favorite records. Why not grab a slice of the world's largest pizza?
So I want to know if a reporter like talked to the blueberry guy and was like, "So, has your life changed?"
No, but my underwear has.
Right? I went to the bathroom a lot.
Like Furious Pete, who scoffed this 12-inch pizza in just 32.28 seconds.
Doesn't even look like very good pizza. That's like gross pizza.
It's not even cooked.
No.
This week in 2020, iconic record holder.
Oh, see, that's why Gallagher was pissed off.
Oops.
No, Gallagher
Yeah,
was
I mean,
pissed
just-
off.
The guy
Gallagher
lost
was
his
pissed off
hands.
because of the
Does
civil
it have
rights
to be on
movement.
somebody's head? Is that part of the gimmick?
Here's what 68 matches.
Oh, finally.
Up his nose.
This is what we were waiting for.
Right?
I hate this guy. I want to like him.
Wait, that was it, Marv? That was like 3 seconds.
That was 68 matches, man.
Now I know
In
why
his
everybody
nose.
in Scandinavia wants to commit suicide. Because they've got
I want to do the most. How about the most vape lighters in your nose? Can we go for that record?
You should. I think you should. I'd encourage that.
What is
I want to push over that girl in all the sweaters and see how long it takes her to get up.
Was she done?
Yeah, that was it, man.
Yeah.
Did it say how many sweaters it was?
Who gives a shit?
45.
45.
Like someone can't get 46 on there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's quite a feat. Put on 45 sweaters. I don't see how you could.
People had done that because they were moving.
Using just one 17 minutes and 51 seconds.
Oh, he's got 2 arms. So he's just showing off to the one-armed people.
Fucking asshole.
Dick.
Tuning into another amazing
92 miles an hour with this
We'll
guy.
be back next Friday. Don't forget
That,
to
yeah, you know, you're right, Marv. That would be the more impressive record-defeating thing. Like if they were missing limbs and, like, if there was a man with no head that won a race, that would be impressive.
I would watch that.
right? Yeah. I mean, I'm for that all day.
Well, I
Headless chicken
guess
race.
the 6 to 8 matches wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be.
No, well, not after we saw that whole tour of the fucking freaks.
Well,
Fucking
Bill Stone.
losers that are
This is the Bill
breaking
Stone
records.
episode because Bill is going for the world record of longest
Self-promotion.
comedy show with paying customers. And I think they're going to break the record, but it's very hard to get them certified lately. I've noticed a lot of people seem to have broken that record, but then they don't get certified. So I don't know what's going on with it.
Really, the people over at Guinness don't have their shit together.
Probably bribery is probably involved, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, some kind of fee.
Because I know I was part of the world record at Hilarities when they did it. It was only 52 hours back then. We had the Guinness Book World Record.
Is that the one they're trying to beat, or has it been done?
No, it's been broken a long time. I mean, it's like that lady with the sweaters. Next week we could go on this show, and I probably got 45 sweaters in my house. They got to be bigger, progressively bigger, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, we got to do like 50.
No, Marv, the difference is, can you do it under the pressure and the scrutiny of those Guinness people?
Oh,
yeah.
Can you do it again in front of them?
There's probably
can
some
you
costs
stay hard?
involved.
That's the issue.
There's probably some costs involved. I bet you I could cremate more bodies in my house than that. I could store more cremated bodies. That's what the Colorado guy was doing. He was trying to go for the most.
It's like, why do you have so many skeletons in your house? I have a lot of coats. I just like to
go for a record, all right?
I don't know how they get away with it just on the smell. Like, you have to notice that.
Well, I think the one house they weren't living in. Is that right, Marv?
They got evicted.
Oh.
They were living there before. I mean, clearly it's not a successful business.
They filled up a rental with corpses.
Bones and shit. You
know? Who's taking this out?
They're never getting their deposit back.
I was talking to Marv before. I don't know if it was, I think it might have been before you came on, but we were talking about that story. And so anytime someone in my family dies, we wait until they put the casket in and they put the dirt on and everything. We stand there and wait. It's just like a tradition in my family because we're afraid that they're going to fucking steal the casket and just put a body in.
They want validation.
A weird thing in my family. We just.
I mean, if they did, who gives a shit?
No, we're not doing the you bury it later scam here, sir. You bury the motherfucker. We paid for a burial. Put him in the ground.
So obnoxious.
No one leaves.
That you heard that story should tell you.
We'll take it. What's
it
that?
should tell you that most of the time everything goes off without a hitch. That's why it's such a big story.
All right, we need to wrap it up. Any shows coming up? You had a big show at your place. You did the finals of the elimination tournament, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had the finals / 8-year anniversary show last night.
I watched it on
your
stream.
It's a good show.
Saturdays are hard for me because my son comes to visit on Saturdays, so I don't get to go out much. But
Jared Bailey won the tournament.
He's funny.
Did very well, yeah.
Jared's very funny. Who'd he beat?
Monica Hagar was the runner-up.
Okay. And you guys what's the next move with your big roast battle?
The official roast battle season starts March 1st. Our first show as part of that is the 2nd. And that means we are in the ranks of the International Roast Battle League and representing Cleveland in a division with Chicago, New York, and Atlanta. We submit our best battles each week, and they are awarded points based on the 7 best battles out of the 16.
Also, you got to video it and send it in.
Yeah.
And then they review it on that podcast?
they'll review those on their podcast, the 7 best battles, and award points. The best battle is 7 points. The next runner-up is 6, and so forth. And then I'm still kind of figuring out how everything works, but at some point towards the end of the season, it'll start breaking down into individual records.
So you only send in how many of your roasts from each show?
As many as we want.
As many as you want?
Yeah.
So if you have 3 good ones, you send those, and then if you have 3 stinkers, they go off.
Right. But it's every week, and we run bi-weekly, so if we had 3 good ones, we might send 1 the first week and 2 the next week or
So
something.
you're saying the Chester A. Arthur versus Trump battle would have
not even registered.
it would have won the championship of the world, is what I'm hearing. You know, he got a lot of offers for that. People are, because he's big in Kansas and middle of the country.
Yeah.
He called me up and said, well, we got a lot of offers to do that. I go, what, are they going to pay us? He goes, no. I said, well, forget it.
Could you come to our school as Chester A. Arthur?
Do you know the genesis of that entire thing, Chris? Did you know what it was?
No.
I was going to do the Southern lawyer thing against him, right? And I was going to spring it on him, no surprise. But I'm talking to him. He goes, Marv, I've got these top hats. He goes, I've always wanted to do a show with my top hat. So it evolved from the top hats. He just wanted to do a show with his top hat, and that's how it ended up being Chester A.
Yeah,
Arthur.
man. I like Craig a lot. Very funny guy. Did Craig wrote for the Jeff Foxworthy sitcom and some other stuff back in the day?
Yeah, he toured with Rodney Carrington. He was his middle act.
Yeah, he's great, man.
So he's very funny.
Chester A. Arthur.
It was fun when we were writing. We got together and wrote a few times for that, right? And he'd get on a thing. He'd go, "Shh, don't talk." Just I said, "What about shh? No?" It'd be no.
So it was a real collaboration, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
it was don't talk, Marvin.
That's probably the best way to write with Marv, honestly, is if he just doesn't talk.
I do have a little ADD. It's hard for me to stay focused.
He just plays his dumbass sound effects. Yeah, there it is.
All right.
Yeah, those are the first and third Saturdays up here at Spotlight, Cleveland.
And it's on Madison, right?
Yeah, we do have maybe the better thing is we have a website now, rblcleveland.com.
rblcleveland.com. Okay.
Tickets and show dates and all that information.
Well, we're honored to have you here today. It's of all the guest speakers we have, you're the third.
And you can check him out at Chris Paugh.
Crazy Paul. What is that? Why did you put an E in there? You had to.
That's my middle initial.
Yeah, Marv. I mean,
why isn't it a capital E then?
Because I put my Instagram handle on there. It's called marketing, Marv.
Oh, we don't do that.
It's something we do when we don't do the same jokes for 25 years.
Oh, really? You think I do the same joke for 25 years? You haven't even heard my Jesus bit.
I apologize for the last 2,020 years.
He's got a great bit from 1910 that he hasn't brought out.
Fucking whippersnappers. You're a bunch of whippersnappers. All right, let's get out of here. This is what the music was supposed to sound out, but we will end up with the boys. But here's what it was supposed to be.
Close.
What?
I think it's close.
It's practically the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, when we quit recording, we'll still be here for a second, so don't take off right away.
Okay. All right.
And skip to the end. That's Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's the same song.
Sounds just like John Facenda in The Autumn Wind.
And I say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, audience. Thanks, Chris. Thanks,
Thank
John.
you.
Thank you.
Now,
Thanks, guys.